Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? Sorry, I set the timer and then a cat jumped on me. But anyway, this is another funny or effed up story about me, and it's kind of appropriate, I guess, that the cat is here because it's actually about a pet, and this cat loves climbing all over me. He's a big suck. Hmm? Yes, you are. Oh, love you. She's probably going to jump back up on me in a minute. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to actually talk about when I found my hamster, which Tracy ended up naming Hobo, which is appropriate when you hear the story. But yeah, so these videos you've probably seen, like the videos you've seen, especially the people who have subscribed. And if you're not one of them, if you'd like to subscribe, that would be helping me out a lot, and I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, that's about all I'm going to say about that thing, about that part. But anyway, sorry, he's kind of wrestling with me, but I don't really want him to right now. But anyway, yeah, so I do a lot of bike riding, as people know. And one day I was out around my neighborhood, and this is a few years ago, because Bug was still alive, my cat, who's my best buddy. And so I was riding around in the neighborhood, and I just happened to, by chance, see this little cage. I was riding through a park nearby, and there's probably around midnight, I guess. And I saw this cage, and I kind of looked at it, and it's like a little hamster cage. And I didn't really think too much of it at the time, but I gave it a little kick with my foot, a little tap, and nothing happened. I was just curious if something was in it. And then I kept riding. So I rode around for about another 15, 20 minutes, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go double check that cage because there looked like there was something in there, but it just wasn't moving. So, it could have been something that was dead, or it could have been something, just some random thing in the cage. So I rode back to the park. It's probably about 20 minutes later, half an hour later. And, okay, I get it. You're here. I know. But went back to the park and the cage was still there. So I rode up to it and I gave it a little tap. My foot. I'm actually moving my foot as I'm telling the story unintentionally. But anyway, so give it a little tap and nothing happens. So I'm looking and I see something in the corner that looks like it could be a hamster. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe it's dead and they didn't know what to do with it. So I gave it like a harder kick that jostled the whole cage. And then I saw this little face pop up. I'm just like, oh, what the hell? Why would somebody leave their hamster in the park like this? So anyway, so I was like, all right, I guess you're coming home with me. So I stuck the cage. It wasn't a very big cage. And I stuck it on the handlebars and I rode home. And then I got home and told Tracy, look, we have a hamster now. And then we went and bought some food the next day. And then, ouch. And after that, we ended up getting this more elaborate cage that we got from Tracy's sister. So the hamster actually had tubes and tunnels and things to run around in, and this one section up in the on the top that it could sleep in. And it was just kind of a fun little pet for a while. It was very well trained. It was well behaved, and we had Lemmy at that point. We still had Lemmy and Billy and Bug, three of them. Lemmy's the only one still with us now, unfortunately. But Lemmy fell in love with the hamster and would not leave the hamster's side. And the thing is, Lemmy was basically, we brought her home when she was like the size of my fist. She was this tiny little thing that she actually lived in, kind of like a small cage for of the first few weeks because she was so tiny. And so anyway, yeah, so she'd never killed or hunted anything. Where Bug he used to be an outdoor cat, and he actually did go out and hunt and kill things. He'd bring home mice and birds the odd time. Not that we wanted him to go out and kill things, but that's what cats do. So anyway, yeah, we were more concerned about if Bug was going to get a hold of him or hold of her and do something just because it's a cat, right? But he never did, and Lemmy would always, like, anywhere if it got out a couple times, and I remember coming home one day and the cat's being weird, and I realized I saw the hamster cage was open, like the door was open. I was like, oh no, like oh crap. And then she was actually sitting with the hamster, like protecting it, or Bug wasn't trying to hurt it or anything. I don't think he cared, but she was just sort of sitting with it, almost like it was a kitten. And then it got out another time, and it was under the fridge, and she sat there meowing and letting me know it was there. And I actually had to reach under, and the only way I can get it was by grabbing its leg and kind of pulling it out from under the fridge, not to hurt it or roughly. And it turned around and it grabbed me like it was going to bite, but it didn't. It just kind of was like a little grab and then it let go. It was a very tame hamster. It was not aggressive like some of them can be. And it was smart too. Like every morning it would get a blueberry and it would go and it would stand by the edge of the cage and sit there and wait, and you give it the blueberry and it would take it and scurry away to a corner and eat it. It was cute, and I'd let it out once in a while. I didn't want to do it too often because just in case Bug got, you know, instincts kicked in. We got it a hamster ball and roll around, and then they don't live very long, unfortunately. But and it passed away peacefully one day, and I took it out, I wrapped it up, and I took it out to the forest and left him there in a tree and let nature do what nature does, or whatever. Something might come along and do what they do. But yeah, it was a cute little thing, and it's just weird how I found it and why somebody would just kind of just leave it in the middle of a park in a cage, like in the middle of the night. It wasn't winter out or anything like that, luckily, but yeah, it was just an interesting little story about ow, stop it, about how we ended up with a hamster. But if you want to subscribe, that'd be great. I would really enjoy that, or really enjoy that. I'd really like that. I'd really appreciate that. And if you have pets, take care of them, love them, don't hurt them, you know. And speaking of, hello. But I guess until the next one, bye.